Hello everyone. Let me adjust my webcam real quick. Alrighty. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to code a program in Python that will show you how to make a program that creates a 1000 bottles on the wall script, and what this will do is in the output, in the code output, as a result of all of this that you can see here, it's going to show what you would say if you're on like a bus or something, except of course this is going to be ethanol, so maybe this would be for a chemistry class or something like that. So yeah, let's jump right into this. So first we've got this, as you can see, the hashtag, which denotes that this first line, and any line with the hashtag in it, does not get actually run by the code. That's basically just notes that you're taking. You know, like imagine if you're doing a math problem and you just take some notes to the side of your math problem. That's not actually part of the math problem. That's just, like notes on the side, and that's what the hashtag denotes, is that Python is not supposed to run that. That's just something that Python skips over, but it's something that makes it so that you and other people that are reading your code can have an easier time reading your code. Going on to the second line, personally, I just have a space there because I find it organizationally easier to look at. However, if we wanted to, we could just delete that right there. So that's not necessary. Next, we have definition main, and this isn't totally necessary either. However, what this does is DEF means definition, and so that's defining a term that you're creating, meaning in coding programs, there will be already defined terms. For instance, print, this command here, will output something in this space. However, what we're doing here is we're defining our own executable, whatever. And so the definition tells Python, okay, we're starting a definition, and then we're calling it main. This could be whatever we wanted to call it. Main is just what is often used, but you can type anything here as long as you repeated that same thing down here. So as you can see, definition, and then we're calling it main with with an outside and inside parentheses, and then a colon. And what the colon says is everything after this is the definition. And then if you go down here, there's no colon there, but there are the two parentheses. And so what that shows you is that that is just telling Python run main, to run main, which is defined after main. So then what you've got there is here, you've got ethanol equals 99. Now, because this isn't a definition, ethanol is not like a program within Python that you're creating. It's just a variable that you're creating. Notice that this is within main, meaning if it was here, then that wouldn't be counted, and you can see there's some kind of error or something, so that wouldn't be counted within main. However, if we do it like this, it's now counted within main, and everything works fine. So we're basically just saying the variable ethanol, again, you could name that whatever you wanted as long as you were consistent with it, but we're saying ethanol, the value of ethanol is equal to 999. Note that it runs from top to bottom, meaning that it'll only run this once, meaning ethanol is being set to 99 right now. However, if later in the code we set it to something else, it would not then stay at 99 unless we told it to even further down. But so this is just a starting point. Next, we've got another space. That's just for organizational reasons. Again, I like that. It's not really necessary, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. And next we have for x in range. What that is as a so imagine 50 pairs of socks. But of course, if you're gonna write instructions for that, you're not gonna write down fold one pair of socks 50 times in a row. You're just gonna say fold 50 socks, or basically fold one pair of socks and repeat that 50 times. And so that's what a loop is. And the standard command for loop is for x in range. X can be replaced with any variable. Here we're just using x because that's kind of the standard variable, generally speaking. But that's the standard command for then here we've got the actual values of the loop, meaning you might want to go, how high do you want the values to go? What's the starting value of the loop? And then where you want it to stop. So what you've got here is 1, 1000, and 1. And what that's telling Python, what that's telling your program, is that, like when you're on the bus, you say, 1 bottle, and then 2 bottles, and then 3 bottles. And then you might stop at 1000 or something. So what this is doing is it's saying, start with 1 bottle, go up to 1000, and increase each time by 1 bottle within the loop. Now you notice how I said before that ethanol was equal to 999 and that wouldn't change unless we changed it later down. How a loop works is it'll change over and over and over again until the loop ends. So this will all just run down. This here will all just run once, but then because this is a loop, everything within the loop is going to run as many times as the loop says, and then the program's going to move beyond the loop once the loop is finished. So moving on, and then the colon just says, like before, that just says, tells Python, do everything after this, within this. Notice the indentations with some other programs that I personally have used. The indentations aren't absolutely necessary, but in this, it's just like if you were writing a paragraph in English, the indentations show, this is the main thing, and then this is within that, and then this is within that, and then this is within that. It's you can imagine it as being really no different than just if you were writing an English paper with indentations. You're just using them to say this thing is within this thing, but then this thing is not within this thing, but it is within this thing. A little bit confusing there, how I just explained it, but it's, like I said, just imagine you're writing an English paper. Organize it that way. Again, another space, you can just delete that. And so next, after the loop command, what's actually within the loop is the print command. And what that does is that prints out over here. This is where it outputs, that's where it prints. So this command simply says print. It just literally make it go to your printer if you have one that just outputs it here. And then you can see you've got some parentheses here, outside parenthesis, or excuse me, inside, inside, outside, outside. It's just like PEMDAS or algebra or whatever. It just is saying, do this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing. Fairly common sense, I would think, but obviously it can get a little bit confusing. And then this command is for a string that I'm hovering over right now, and that shows you, or that denotes what kind of variable it is. String is a certain kind of thing, meaning we mentioned ethanol over here, and so you can have string variables and you can have other various different kinds of variables. For now, I think in this tutorial, all you need to know is that this is a string type variable, and so this is printing out that. This is outputting these lines of code over here. That's what the print command does, like I said before. So it's printing ethanol. It's going to output ethanol, and then plus, and then bottles of ethanol on the wall. And so what that's doing is it'll output however many bottles are left on the wall. Meaning if there's 1 bottle left, it'll print whatever the value is of ethanol, and then plus bottles of ethanol on the wall. So if we had 1,000 bottles of ethanol on the wall, it would print 1,000, plus bottles of ethanol on the wall. And then after that, this isn't printed, this section here, I don't believe. So this will just subtract the amount of bottles of ethanol on the wall by 1. And then, as you can imagine, that would go down, and then it would subtract each time. It would loop around, loop around, loop around until it stopped. And when it does, and every time it goes through, it asks itself, is ethanol equal to 0? And if it's not, then it just goes back up here and continues. So every time this runs, it'll ask itself, is ethanol equal to 0 yet? Are we at 0 yet? And if it's not, it'll just keep going. But once it hits 0, it will then print that there are no more bottles of ethanol. And then here's the main command that just, again, like I said before, that's the very end. This is your definition. Everything is within main. So this is the definition of main, all of your code, and then it just executes main. So let's go ahead and run the code. As you can see, it takes a minute because we are having a lot of bottles of ethanol. Not necessarily for human consumption. So as you can see, it's got 0 through 999 and in descending order. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. My name is Benjamin Rhodes, and thank you for listening if you are. Have a good day.